4 billion years ago, a cloud of cosmic dust called a nebula formed, and through accretion, planetesimals were also formed, which was called the Earth. And then a large object collided with Earth and made the moon and Earth, and we also have the sun and the sun.
5 billion years ago, these two atoms that are spinning around are in a nebula. Eventually, they will start to attract each other, which is called an accretion. Once they are together, they are called planetesimals, which have gravity and will begin to pick up everything around them. Then they will become one giant ball of mass, and finally we have Earth.
Once upon a time, there was this big, massive nebula, and there was this huge explosion, and then the sun was formed, and it started getting gravity around it, I guess. And then, due to accretion and planetesimals, there was this tiny little ball called Earth that started revolving around the sun. And then, like, I don't know, a million years later, there was this another planet that crashed into Earth. And all the dust and debris formed the moon, and the planet sunk into the Earth's center, making it bigger. And then, yeah. The end.
So roughly 4 billion years ago in a nebula, there are a lot of different particles, and they all came together to the form of accretion to form a planetesimal that one day became a planet known as Earth and the sun in the middle of the solar system. And as everything orbited it, another planet ran into Earth, and part of it stayed with it, but the other part went off to create the moon into what we know as our Earth and our moon.
It all started when there was a big explosion. The atoms and particles from that dust cloud went through accretion to form a planetesimal, which then grew to form our planet.
Once upon a time, about 4.5 billion years ago, there were a bunch of dust particles and cosmic little things floating around called a nebula. Then they slowly started to come together through accretion. Then they formed our Earth as we see it today. A little bit later, though, a big planet-ish type thing crashed into this Earth, and one of the pieces broke off and formed the moon. So the moon's spinning around, and this is our Earth as we know it today. Okay, so cosmic dust and gas, which is a nebula, then soon attracts little particles, which is called accretion, come together, which then starts forming planetesimals, which is small objects or planets, which then forms our Earth. Yeah.
Take it away.
Once there were dust particles in a giant thing of dust and gas called a nebula. The dust formed a planetesimal due to accretion and became the Earth and the Sun. Then, like a while later, this thing just kind of crashed into them and became the moon and stuff. Yeah.